All right, today we're going to continue on with our movies, and we want to paginate. So we have our page here. Let's start it up. We had created a bunch of movies. Probably going to need my proxy twice in one. Yeah. You'd think so. I don't know. All right. So we had implemented our own pagination just to show you how to use some of those features, and we did that where? Where did we implement the pagination? In the index, in the controller and the index method, right? So this is where we got the parameters from the browser, and we did our own little quickie pagination on this. And this is what changed using these active record commands. These are methods that operate on this movie table. That's just a limit, like a standard SQL limit. Offset is a standard SQL offset. And we could also do things like order by created date, right? The created date. So that will do a sort of all of the records by a particular field. So let's go look at our schema. It's actually called created at or updated at. So I'm going to use updated at for my ordering. And again, it doesn't matter what order these are. It will do the ordering and the limiting and the offset and create you a final issue here. So if I order these by updated at, this is by the order they were created in. All right. If I want the newest first, how do you think I would change that? Not reverse, no. So let's go to let's go look at the order active record query method. We can order by the name of the column, and then we put descending, right? That's just a standard SQL issue, right? So we can just add this descending symbol to our name. All right, so we could do that. We want to do updated at descending. All right, so let's go look at it now. And you see I have it going in reverse order. It started at 155, 154, 153, and it gave me 5 at a time still. If I go next, page 2, it goes back down, so it's going in reverse order. So that's the sorting that you were talking about. It's fairly easy then to make these links and maybe sort them by these column widths, these column names. We can try that. Maybe next week we can play with that. All right, so that's all we have to do for your assignment would be to do that on your movie page or your products, whatever your articles, whatever I said for you to do.
Whatever I told you to do.
All right, so the next thing, we've already shown you how to manually create pagination, and you can certainly do this yourself. That's one way to do it for the assignment. Or we can use this gem called the Kaminari gem. So Kaminari is a gem, a Rails gem that works, there it is, there's a nice big word, the Kaminari gem. And if you go to this, you go to the GitHub site where this code is, and it tells you all the documentation on how to use it. So how to install it? Well, we put this line in our gem file. So we'll copy that. Gem file. Put this gem in here. And as soon as we make a change to our gem file, what do we have to do? Rake, or bundler install, right? Bundle install. So it's going to go out, get the Kaminari gem from GitHub, download it, install it, and it should say installing Kaminari. There we go. All right, so that's the first step. Then we don't have to deal with our gem file anymore. So let's go look at the rest. And it even told you to do the bundle command. We can add, they call these scopes. This is a way of modifying the model, just like the limit and the order and the offset. They've added an additional functionality to the models so that I can say, I want to look at page 7 of these products or these users or these articles. All right, so if I change this all, let's comment this out and not use that, my nice code there. Let's leave that in there just so we have it. Let's use this pagination method and see, there's not going to be that many. Let's go to page 2. Crash. Because I did something wrong. Yes. Obviously. All right. No. Yeah, I don't have to require it. I shouldn't have to. So yeah, let's, when in doubt, we'll restart our server. Because we added a whole gem. There we go. Much better. So the default, if you read that documentation, said 25. Give me 25 per page. And so I'm getting 25 records here. I'm getting the second page so that it started at 130 instead of 155. And I'm still going in reverse order because I left my ordering on here. All right? So this page, I can specify a specific page like that. Or I can start to use some of the built-in values that come from the parameters, right? So param subpage, which is what I have, I want to use that value inside of my page method. So I already did that. I can just do this. From that page, we'll use @page here instead. And notice how they don't care that it's an integer. They're just looking at it straight. So I don't even have to do the .2i. They're going to take care of that themselves. So I get the value from the query string, and then I go and do something. All right. So the next thing is this views. They have a method that they've created called the paginate method. which automatically displays a nice little pagination. Instead of doing all of this stuff, let's comment this out. Oops. Let's put their code in, and instead of users, what am I going to paginate? Movies. All right? And so here's a nice little pagination. Next, last page. I'm on page 1. I know the styling is wrong. I can go to page 2. Goes to page 2, and notice how it puts the 2 up here. I can go to next. Goes to page 3. So it's taken into account all of the math that we had to deal with. I can go first and last, and it automatically does the pagination for me. Yes, you may use that on the assignment. That's really nice. Isn't that nice? It is nice. All right? Very simple. All right? You can do all kinds of styling with this. I'm not going to do any of this, but you can play with this yourself and add different names, like if you want it to say next page or whatever, you can modify all of that good stuff. And the other thing that is useful is in the model, we can specify how many we want per page. So we can say, call this variable max paginates per. Actually, it's a method, and we pass it a value. And we do this where? In the model. All right? So we're going to call this, we want max per page in our movie model here. And that is going to be, let's put it back to 5. So now when we reload our page, it takes all that into account. I know that bar is bad. It did not make a change. Did not change it. Of course. I still have 25. So, why? So when in doubt, again, let's stop our server, restart it. Right, Sean? When in doubt, stop and reload.
Hey, that works in traffic too.
Every 10 minutes just for fun. All right, that still didn't do it. So, yeah, so that's, yeah, right. We want the paginates per is what we want. Per page value. See, you should read the documentation. It'll help a lot. We want 5. We don't care about this guy. See? That's what I tell you guys to do all the time. Read. Much better. So now I've got more pages. See that? I can go next, and it goes to 150. Next. Goes to 145. So now I'm there. See? Can't you see that?
There you go.
We saw it for a second.
We got it.
Jeez. There you go. See, lots of pages. And I'm only getting I'm only getting 5 per page. All right, that's the value that I wanted.
We want that on our assignment.
Or you do it manually.
Well, no, I mean, does it matter?
It doesn't matter. But yeah, it does matter.
Are you going to ding us for the black bar of death?
Yes, you should be styled correctly. Absolutely styled correctly. So if you want to edit that, you can see the code. They generate this code for you automatically, right? So let's go look at that code.
Must be nice.
Isn't that nice? So here's the pagination. The class is called Pagination. So you can edit that in your style sheet, right? You know where that is. Change it.
Let's do it with jQuery real quick. That'll be fun.
It's the background color that I want to change, though.
See the sauce next to it right there?
No, that's not font. This color is font color.
Yeah, I know. That's the font color. That's not what I want.
On the 1, 3.
I want to do it on this one. Background. There we go. We want white background. There we go.
Hey, there we go.
All right, so you could do that in your style sheets. And you see they've got spans for all of the different pieces, and you can actually see that code. They have a generator. If you look at this, customizing this, you can run this generator, which generates the views for you. So you could actually modify the code yourself. So let's do that just for fun. Let's go to Tools, Generate, Kaminari. Now, because we added the gem, it did all of this for us. It added a new generator, which RubyMine picked up. So we'll generate the views and see if it had any parameters that we go to that. Default. So we'd want to say default in that box. Say OK. And that should generate some views in our views folder in the Kaminari folder. See, so these are all, sorry, I lost them. These are all partials that are used by the gem. So if I modify these, it'll modify the rest of the site. So you can see some of that code that they've done here.
So then did it also create its own little style sheet as well?
I don't think so. Let's see. Nope. But you can just look at the code and figure it out yourself, right? No, they're all just these spans that have a class. So you just edit the class in your style sheet and you're done. Very simple. Nice, eh? And the other one was well, they have themes and things. I don't even want to get into those. All right, so to make this a more user-friendly, we were going to talk about this yesterday, and I didn't get to it, but since we're using this Kaminari gem, remember that I said that these types URLs, these question mark type URLs are not friendly with search engines because they don't take those into account. They stop right at the question mark. So if we want to make that more friendly, they have a nice way, they teach you how to do that. In our code, we're going to do something like this. And where do we put that? Where do we modify what the URLs look like? In the routing file. Okay, good. And that's in our config folder, routes. And we have this resources movies, and we want to make it look like this. So we're going to change this to movies and take this out. So this is for my resources movies, do this block of code where a get of a page / colon page goes to the action, and this on collection means to work on this movies table. So let's reload this guy. Now when I go to a page, it's got a nice /page 2, /page 6. Isn't that beautiful? A lot nicer URL. Isn't that nice? So that's all we have to do to make our resource, our pagination look very cool. All right, any other questions on the Kaminari? Wasn't that easy? Adding pagination is easy. You can always go back to watch my video.
At least then you can pause.
You can pause, that's right.
You can go back 30 seconds.
Yeah. You can also mute him, which is kind of cool.
I like to mute him and watch him in 1.5 times.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
All right, any questions on what we did today with the controller? Notice how easy that is. All I have to do is get this, and of course I don't have to save it as a separate value anymore because I'm not using that in my view. To make this even simpler, which is what they show, I can just make it like that, delete that, and it'll work the same way. Nice, yes? Beautiful. Leave it. Don't touch.
So pretty much the longest thing that we're going to be messing with is just
Styling.
populating.
Or populating, yes. And the populating, again, we did that in our seeds. Where's my seeds file? And instead of doing this loop here, you're going to do another loop that's going to do articles.create and a products.create using all of this BS and stuff, right? So very simple. Which file did you want back? Any questions?
We create the articles with the scaffold.
Yes, to start out, you have to create the whole table and all the views using the scaffolding. Yes. Yes, you can use that. Right? Any other questions?